In a rural African village, young Amina gazes out at the vast savannah, contemplating her future. A bright and determined 15-year-old, Amina dreams of becoming a doctor, motivated by her desire to help her community. She shares her ambition with her friends, but they, though supportive, are skeptical of her chances. They remind her that girls in their village typically focus on traditional roles like farming, caregiving, and raising families. Still, Amina holds fast to her dream, even when her father and the village elders, including the YMZ, echo similar concerns, expressing that girls should not pursue ambitions outside of their traditional roles. Despite the doubts surrounding her, Amina is undeterred. One day she visits Fatima, the village healer, seeking guidance. Fatima is a wise older one who has lived through hardship and has learned much about healing, both through her extensive knowledge of herbs and through life's challenges. Fatima listens to Amina's frustrations and encourages her to pursue her dreams of becoming a doctor, despite the societal pressures. Inspired by Fatima's words, Amina begins to immerse herself in learning, reading books on medicine and attending lessons with Fatima, who becomes her mentor. Fatima shows Amina that true education is not just found in textbooks, but also in the wisdom passed down through generations of strong, resilient women. Yet Amina continues to learn, and one day she finds an opportunity through a friend of Fatima's who works in the city, an online platform offering medical courses. With access to these, Amina dives deeper into her studies. Her hard work begins to pay off when she is offered a scholarship to attend a medical school in the city. The news is a turning point. Amina's joy and excitement, however, are met with resistance when Mizi and the elders express their disapproval, saying that Amina's departure will disrupt the village's traditional values. Undeterred, Amina stands up to MZ, passionately defending her right to follow her dreams. She declares that pursuing education, especially for women, is not a threat to tradition, but a way to build a better future for the entire village. Slowly, whispers of support begin to grow, as more villagers admire Amina's determination and courage. Despite the resistance, Amina embarks on her journey to the city, where she begins her formal education. The transition is challenging and Amina faces many obstacles, but her commitment to her dream never falters. She eventually returns to her village after a year of studying, now more confident and knowledgeable. The village, once skeptical of her goals, now celebrates her success. Young girls in the village start to look up to her, seeing that it's possible to dream big and achieve those dreams even against the odds. Amina's story has sparked change in the village. Mzi, who had once opposed her dream, publicly acknowledges the importance of education for all, recognizing that it can bring greater prosperity to the entire community. With his support, the village establishes scholarships for young girls, opening doors to education and opportunities for future generations. As Amina prepares to leave for medical school, she plants a small tree in the village to symbolize the seeds of hope she has sown. The village gathers to celebrate her achievements, and as the sun sets over the savannah, Amina realizes that her journey is just beginning. The community, empowered by her story, has embraced the power of education, and Amina, now a medical student, promises to return one day to serve her people. As Amina sets off for the city to pursue her medical studies, she carries with her not just a sense of personal ambition, but the weight of her community's hopes. The moment she leaves the village is bittersweet. She is excited for the future, but the thought of leaving behind her family and village, who once doubted her, fills her with both pride and uncertainty. Still, she holds onto the memory of Fatima's words, which remind her that her journey is not only about personal success, but about showing others what is possible. The transition to city life is overwhelming at first. The noise, the pace, the towering buildings, and the complexity of modern life seem to contrast sharply with the peaceful, simple rhythms of her village. Amina feels a mixture of awe and isolation. She is one of the few students from her village, and many of her classmates are from wealthier, more privileged backgrounds. She struggles to fit in, often feeling out of place. Her self-doubt creeps in. Can she truly belong here? Will she be able to keep up? But Amina is determined. She throws herself into her studies, focusing on her coursework with unwavering dedication. She seeks out other students who share her passion for helping others and forms a small study group. Together, they support one another through the grueling exams and long hours of studying, Slowly, Amina begins to find her place, earning respect from her peers and professors for her hardworking attitude and compassionate spirit. Despite the challenges, Amina thrives in her medical studies. She is captivated by the science of the human body, the complexities of diseases, and the potential to heal. But even as she excels academically, she remains connected to her roots. She frequently calls home, updating her family and Fatima on her progress, while listening intently to news from the village. The bond with her village remains strong, and she often recalls the faces of those she left behind, including her parents, the children she hopes to one day help, and most importantly, Fatima, whose words continue to echo in her mind. Months into her studies, Amina receives a phone call that shakes her to her core. Her father calls, voice shaky with worry. A major drought has hit the village and crops are failing. The water supply is dangerously low, and the local clinic is overwhelmed with illnesses, many of which could have been prevented with better medical knowledge and resources. Amina's heart catches as she hears the strain in her father's voice. He urges her to come back to the village, but she knows she cannot leave her studies now, not when her dream is so close. But Amina's mind is already racing. She reaches out to her professors in the university's medical network, asking for resources, medical supplies, and advice to help her village. Her classmates, many of whom are from different regions and countries, offer to help. Together, they organize a charity drive, collecting medicine, water filtration systems, and food supplies. The campaign becomes a huge success, and Amina, though miles away from home, feels a sense of solidarity and unity with her village. In the meantime, Fatima, ever the village's steady anchor, keeps in contact with Amina, telling her that the village is finding ways to survive, though it's a hard struggle. She reassures Amina that the villagers are adapting, using traditional methods to conserve water and keep the children safe. But Fatima knows that education is the real key to long-term change. After completing her first year of medical school, Amina returns to the village during her break. Her arrival is met with overwhelming warmth. The villagers, including Mzee, who has since softened his views on education for girls, welcome her as a hero. The young girls who once saw her as a distant figure now look up to her as proof that dreams are possible. They ask her questions about medicine, about the world beyond the village, and about how they, too, can one day pursue their own dreams. Amina immediately gets to work, setting up basic health clinics for the villagers and organizing educational workshops about sanitation, hygiene, and preventive care. Her first clinic is small. She has little more than the supplies she brought with her from the city and the knowledge she's gained over the past year, but she is determined to make it work. People from neighboring villages come to seek help, and Amina provides the best care she can, with compassion and dedication. While working in the village, Amina learns that Nzi has been talking to other village elders and local leaders about creating an educational program for young girls. He has been so inspired by Amina's journey that he is now convinced that empowering girls through education is not only possible, but vital for the survival and prosperity of the entire village. The elders, once resistant to change, now recognize that education is the gateway to better opportunities, and they pledge to build a school for girls in the village. Amina's work in the village goes beyond just medical care. She helps to launch a literacy program for the young girls in the village, teaching them to read and write and inspiring them to reach for higher goals. She becomes not just a symbol of what's possible for girls, but an active force for change. The village begins to thrive in ways it never has before. Thanks to Amina's efforts and the support of the entire community, new crops are planted using innovative techniques, and a small but effective health clinic is established. Women who were once relegated to traditional roles are now seen as leaders in their community, empowered by education and the knowledge they've gained from Amina's efforts. Years later, Amina returns to the village after completing her medical degree. The village is a different place now. A new school has been built for the girls, and more young women are leaving for cities to pursue careers in education, medicine, and other fields once thought impossible for them. Amina has come full circle. Not only is she a doctor, but she has also become a force of transformation, a beacon of hope for future generations. Mzee, now an old man, meets her at the entrance of the village. He smiles, proud of the changes that have taken place. You've done what we thought was impossible. Amina, he says, his voice full of respect. Amina smiles back, her heart swelling with gratitude. We've done it together, she replies. This is only the beginning. As Amina walks through the village, she sees the faces of the young girls who now believe in their own potential. She knows that the seeds of hope she planted long ago have blossomed into something far greater than she could have imagined. And with that, she realizes that the dream she once held for herself has not only changed her life, it has changed the lives of everyone around her. She has become the very symbol of hope, strength, and transformation that she once dreamed of becoming.